Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the cage, Stephen Coleman!
Back into the action, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Johnson along with my partner Ryan Sutton tonight. Coming to the cage, it is Stephen Coleman. Now Stephen makes his way from the Academy of Courage and is coming off of a loss in his last outing. But Stephen Coleman has been in some wars, and tonight he is looking to bring one to Kris Craig. Stephen Man told me that he has got to stay long and use his reach. He is a bit taller than Kris Craig, so we'll see how that works out. He also has to avoid that takedown.
And please welcome his opponent, Kris Craig!
Making his professional mixed martial arts debut, it is Kris Craig. Now, the former college wrestler was also an amateur champ here at Shamrock FC. Tonight, with his pro debut, he says, I've got a whole lot more tricks in my book. As we go to our Supplement Superstore's tail of the tape. Now, the glaring difference is going to be the height and the age. Kris Craig, 36 years old, 5'4", 125.2. Stephen Coleman, 26 years old, 5'7", 127 pounds. Stephen Coleman did miss weight for this contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first main card matchup of the evening is set for 3 rounds in the Shamrock Fighting Championship Flyweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the Metro PCS blue corner, a fighter that stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in officially at 127.4 pounds. Fighting out of O'Fallon, Missouri, Stephen Coleman! Across the cage, his opponent, fighting tonight out of the Metro PCS red corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighed in at 125.2 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional mixed martial arts debut, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Kris Craig!
I have been looking forward to the professional debut of Kris Craig for a long time. Referee Dwayne Bess has the call for this contest. This fight is 3 5-minute rounds in the Shamrock FC flyweight division. Look at the footwork here out of Craig.
Yeah, a lot of people have been looking forward to the professional debut of him because of his explosiveness. You know, he's got college level wrestling, but he's not afraid to explode and throw some big time leather.
He's also got really good stand-up. He's been a kickboxer for quite some time also.
Yeah, he used that to better his game, and that's what led him to the title, led him to a championship caliber fighter.
Easily stops the shot. Big hip toss there out of Kris Craig.
Yeah, beautiful leverage. Just turned the hips over with that underhook, elevated into a beautiful throw.
Working the side control position here right in front of the broadcast table.
Yeah, he still maintained on the way down on that throw a deep underhook, which is letting him stay in a heavy side control position.
Yeah, this is a bad position for Coleman. He's trying to use the fence to kick himself off and make a little bit of space.
Yeah, because Kris Craig is just like a brick on top of you. Coleman does a good job of bucking, getting back to half guard though. He needs to try to find a way from bottom to get that underhook back, though, because that underhook right now is what is stuffing him.
Craig got that arm trap, throws an elbow, something new in the pros to him.
Yep.
How big are the elbows coming into this?
Man, they are a game changer. Just the violence of an elbow. They're just something really, really game-changing about them. Kris did a smart job there, almost set it up. He was really threatening with a crucifix position, used that to transition almost into a choke, but let it go because he saw he was going to expend a lot of energy still being stuck in half guard. Got that head buried again, that deep, deep underhook and head pressure is what's keeping him in this position. burying Coleman against the cage.
So being the wrestler that he is, how important is this position to him?
It's just, it's home, it's comfortable, you know? You get that deep underhook, a lot of pressure, head fighting, hand fighting. I mean, that's where your home base is. And that's not saying he didn't look extremely comfortable when they were on their feet.
No, Kris Craig has been in wars before.
Oh, both of these guys.
Yeah, both of these guys have fought Corbin Howard. I mean, just absolute wars there. They are used to being in the grinding situations and in the high paces, so.
Yeah, I mean, both these guys are veterans who've been in big time battles, and they're looking to elevate their names off each other tonight. Good wrist control from bottom from Coleman. Maybe he was going to threaten with a triangle, but
trying to work, though, getting those the feet on the hips, trying to either push away, look for a sweep, but Kris steps right over it.
Yeah, Kris is having none of it, just too much pressure.
I know Kris has been sparring a lot of rounds here at 5 minutes to get used to the way that it works here. Moving from the Amis to the pros. Big, heavy shot there out of Craig.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. He's made the adjustments to make sure that cardio is on point, ready to rock and roll for the pros. Coleman forced to go back to that closed guard, opens it back up to move. Let's see, he's got an underhook on the one side. Let's see if he uses that to either try to bump or maybe even wall walk, but.
This is a terrible position. Coleman has to get his back up against the cage and start to move.
Yeah.
Because if not, Craig is just going to sit here and just out-wrestle him, period.
Yeah, just put that pressure on him. That super heavy top pressure. Referee says not enough action.
Interesting that they stopped that in that position.
You know, it was kind of a stalemate position, but it did look like Coleman was working for something a little bit on bottom. Oh, Coleman land a straight shot. Straight shot, jumps, takes the back of Kris Craig. That was a huge turnaround for momentum in this round.
Big knee to the body. They're coming out of Coleman.
A straight right is what set this up. I think it was a straight left. Set this up. Kris flashed a little bit, and Coleman just pounced.
Kris Craig has even told me, he says that there is always one in a fight that rocks me, but I'll come back. 10 seconds remaining here in round one. Can he survive with Coleman on his back?
We've got
big knee to the body.
Last one was just a hair close to being after the bell. We've got a cut. Let's see if that becomes a factor, Jeremy.
Yes.
It's above the eye.
That is not where you want to have a cut. No. The doctors will take a quick look at that, but our cut men will work and try to make it go away.
Right there, that straight right. He transitioned beautifully to smother him into a takedown on the way down. Jump, transitions, gets the back, but the first 4 minutes and change of that fight was Kris Craig grinding away on top. Interesting way to finish that round.
Yes, right there on the Mattingly Lumber instant replay. Let's see how Kris Craig recovers as we go into round two. Kris Craig in the red tape, goes high with a head kick.
Yeah, a little fade away kick to start the round. Keep him guessing.
Stephen Coleman with the blue tape. Big overhand right from Craig.
Yeah, Craig's got his hands low. Coleman shoots in on a double, but Kris shucks it off. Now it looks like Coleman's the one looking to establish a little bit of pressure on him, make him carry his weight, grind on him a little bit.
And this is where the 5-minute rounds come in, as all of this heavy work has to play. Big elbow coming out of Coleman.
Yeah, he posted and landed a big push elbow. They're those elbows you're talking about, and a knee to the, that first one looks like it came up underneath and might have made some solid contact.
Coleman, nice sprawl out of that position. You're looking for that front headlock.
Yeah, very good sprawl. forced Kris, and Kris took a good shot, good penetration into that high crotch. Looking to run
Big
through now.
takedown.
Yeah, he settled in, kept readjusting his grip, pressured, driving, outside trip. He establishes the takedown. He worked hard for that one.
Craig now in half guard, trying to step over.
Coleman swings back, gets his guard back, but so far in full guard hasn't been able to do much with it. One thing to note is the referee did stand them up in a closed guard. If he does want back up and close his guard, if there's not enough activity, he might be able to get a stand up.
That eye has opened up again on Stephen Coleman over the right eye.
Yeah, I have a feeling that eye's going to continue to keep opening up. I mean, the cut guys can do a good job in the corner of getting that sealed, but it looks like a pretty deep cut over the eyebrow.
Those elbows can be vicious, especially on that soft tissue.
Yep, and Kris is just staying really, really tight here. Sitting in Coleman's closed guard, following his hips when he opens his guard, but staying tight to him the whole time. Now Coleman might be able to wall walk up a little bit, but
he's got to use that position to try to move.
Kris just cinches.
Yeah, he's just driving it home.
Yep, cinching it up, giving him no room to work. Almost got him pressured over there, but that cage was in the way.
Back to full guard is Coleman, looking for a sweep.
Tied position. Kris not able to really posture up. There he postures up a little bit, shot misses.
Short elbows are from the bottom, also from Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman.
Again, referee Dwayne Best does not see enough action here.
Nope, didn't see enough action, stands him back up. Back to square one.
Oh, low shot there.
Yeah, it looked like in transition he kicked him low.
This is not what you want to see at all.
Nope, never fun. Never fun when you're already, especially halfway in a fight. Fatigue sets in and then you take one low. Got glimpses of Yadier Molina, Jeremy.
It's a terrible thing here in the sport. The guys need to, there are products out there that make it work. Diamond MMA is, of course, the one that I use, and I know that you do too, but straight up the middle.
Yeah, that was straight up. Yeah, I switched over, had actually a scary incident in a fight one time, switched over to Diamond MMA, and I've been happy ever since.
Now, this is an interesting one. Kris Craig will get 5 minutes, but what happens if he can't answer the bell?
So the ruling is, it was unclear for a while, but the ruling is if you can't continue and it's ruled an inadvertent foul, not on purpose, then the fight can actually be declared a TKO for the other guy, which is a little bit interesting to me. That it's an interesting call, but I've seen him no contest. Mine actually in a no contest with a foul.
But you had to actually submit something for yours, right?
Yeah, I just admit that I was instructed it was going to be a no contest, that the paperwork said no contest, and that's how it was deemed. I thought maybe it was deemed blatantly illegal off the back, so it was pretty blatant shot. But yeah, they came back and said yes, the ruling was we confirmed no contest. But on paper, it can technically be a TKO if you can't answer after that 5-minute intermission.
This is a horrible position for Craig. He's going to have to try to shake it off to continue.
Yep, needs to take his time, shake it off.
Yeah, in a situation like this, you need to take the full 5 minutes.
Yeah. Again, that's worst timing of a fight, too late. Already had a good grinding pace. I think he's going to shake it off. I think he's good to go. And we are back at it.
Let's see now, how does that affect it? Because no matter what, no matter how long you got, you're still going to have those adverse effects.
Oh, yeah, leg, stomach. I mean, you know, it takes you a while to shake
off. Oh, big shot from Craig. He dropped him.
Yeah, got his legs underneath him there, buddy. Just ripped a hard hook. Forcing Coleman to cede a takedown.
And don't let the size of Kris Craig fool you. He hits hard as we are under 1 minute remaining here in round 2.
Yeah, very, very hard. He has got some legitimate one-hitter-quitter power. Coleman doing a good job now, just trying to move, knows this is late in the round. Got to make something happen here.
Kris Craig in the red tape, Stephen Coleman in the blue. Craig pressuring up against the cage here.
Yeah, he's got that underhook. He's working hard to get his way back up.
Again, that eye has opened back up of Coleman. Coleman taking the back here, though, of Craig.
Wow.
10 seconds in the second round.
I think a little too late to do much of anything with it, but interesting scramble there at the bottom.
Big elbows coming.
Man.
Craig covers up, minimizes the damage. How do you see that round?
You know, I just think too much top pressure from Kris Craig that round. He was on top for the majority of the round. You know, even though a stand-up was forced, or was called, I should say. I mean, he was still on top that whole round.
Now, if you are in the corner adversely here of Stephen Coleman, what advice you give him as we see the Mattingly Lumber instant replay?
You absolutely cannot give up a takedown. You got to fight giving up a takedown for your life. You know, try to land something on the feet, try to get back on top, swing this momentum in your favor. You know, if you do give up a takedown, do what you just did there. You know, go a little nuts on bottom, because the more the clock eats away to the top guy, the more it's going to look like they're in control. And if you're Kris, I mean, you've been fighting a smart fight so far. You know, well, look to put it away. Put it away with an exclamation point.
Yeah, and Kris Craig does have knockout power in both hands.
Yes, he does.
Third and final round. Jeremy Johnson along with my partner here, Ryan Sutton. First fight of the main card.
Coleman comes, stalks, takes the center. Good redirect. Forces Coleman to kind of take an awkward shot.
Yeah, Kris saw that one from a mile away.
He's got that body lock. Let's see if Kris looks to redirect him.
Big knee there, though, coming out of Coleman.
Oh, looks for an elbow over the top. That would have been not fun to walk into. Coleman keeping his hands up high. Kris hands low, but looking to explode into his shots.
Yeah, Kris has a very unorthodox style. His hip movement, the way that his footwork, it's just so different.
Yeah, it's
very hard to train for.
It is. It's hard to train for that timing guy that's in and out, explodes into his shots like that. Forced Coleman to take a bad shot, stuffed it, and now Coleman is in a bad position again. That head under the chin, nasty, nasty pressure.
Let's see if those shots to the body here will take a little of the swagger out of Stephen Coleman.
Oh, yeah, anytime you're trying to get up and get drilled to the body. Plus, what that's also doing is that's allowing Kris to maintain top position. You know, he's got to be active on top. That's allowing him to maintain that top position, get his chance to work. Coleman hasn't been able to throw up much of a submission threat from bottom. And Kris is a good grappler as well.
Yes. He has good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He has, again, great collegiate wrestling.
Pushing away. That push-off elbow was pretty slick from the bottom. We got 3 minutes left in this. Kris all over him. Coleman's creating some space there now, but he needs to use it.
Coleman here trying to work some high guard position. Again, that eye is just running down.
Yeah, that eye that's a pretty deep cut.
Coleman looking for the arm bar.
He snags it, but did not have the wrist control.
Nice shuck off there for Kris Craig, getting into side control position.
Yeah, Kris.
But he's on the cage, steps over into mount.
Kris made him pay for that. Just transitions beautifully to mount. Now look for him to take the back unless Coleman can come out the back door.
Coleman trying to work here. One hook in from Kris Craig, gets both hooks in. Can he flatten him out? This is a terrible position for Coleman.
Yep. This is not where you want to be with a strong wrestler, hooks in, just flattening you out.
Kris Craig taking the back here of Stephen Coleman, trying to work that position.
Yeah, look for him to finish here because he's working hard for this rear naked. Slipping it under.
Down to 1 minute and 30 seconds left here in the third and final round.
Yep, Coleman just cannot get those boots out. Big shots from Kris Craig. And those are, you cannot answer for shots when the guy's on your back like
no,
that.
this is bad in the eyes of the judges for Stephen Coleman.
Yeah, completely dominant position.
Nice elbow there from Craig from the top. Again, the grappler that he is, Kris is just stuck to him like glue here, down to under a minute, 45 seconds remaining here in the third and final round.
Yeah, and he's using wrist control really smart. He keeps rolling the wrist. Even when he gets a little bit high, he's rolling that wrist, controlling, keeps breaking the base of Stephen Coleman down. And now he's cinching it with 30 seconds left, see if he can get a hand
Looking to finish, 30 seconds. Can Kris Craig put him away? Stephen Coleman fighting the hands on both sides. And he's out again, though. Coleman trying to get away. Craig grabs it. Is it under the chin? Nope, he's fine. Talking to the ref. 10 seconds.
We'll fight until the end.
Kris throwing bombs. Steps into mount.
Oh.
What a war, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off the main card here at Shamrock FC 305. Live from River City Casino in St. Louis, Missouri. Jeremy Johnson along tonight with Ryan Sutton. Ryan, what a fight.
What a fight. Very, very smart fight for Kris Craig, welcoming himself to the pros, and a gritty game, Stephen Coleman.
As we look at our Mattingly Lumber instant replay, Kris Craig takes the back for the final 10 seconds and just starts throwing absolute hammers here.
Yeah, he was about 2 seconds away from throwing a hammer right at the bell and pulled it smart too. I mean, they fought till the end.
Definitely. Did not seem in that third round that the low blow affected Craig.
No. He bounced back great. Established his game and what he wanted to do.
And we still have more action to come as our co-main event will feature the kickboxer Gerard Thomas taking on the tough grappler in Ty Flores.
Yeah,
but first, we got to get the results on this fight here. So let me send it up to the cage to Joe Parisi to give us our results.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we give this one to the judges for an official decision. Judge number 1 scored the bout 29-28. Judge number 2 has it 29-28, and judge number 3 has it 30-27. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Kris Craig!
Welcome to your professional career, Mr. Craig.
And that's how you want to start it, with a big win for Kris Craig, surviving the low blow, taking it to Stephen Coleman for the win. But Coleman, a very game opponent.
Yep, he was game, and that was a war. Good for Kris Craig.
We still have more action to come, because coming up, It is Dustin Scrappy Lampros taking on the very seasoned veteran in Zach Harvey, and we'll be right back right after this.